Good evening and welcome to the Shiro Coffee Chat Short. I'm Melissa Farmer Hill, a retired Army veteran and the founder of the Shiro Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I'm also the host of the Shiro Coffee Chat, which airs right here every Sunday at 9 a.m. So be sure to check us out. Now, I just want to jump into this short real quick. But what if I said to you, no offense, you're just mid. I mean, to be honest, I don't even really believe that you have what it takes to accomplish anything of significance. And that's okay. I mean, yeah. When I look at your life, I mean, you're pretty much a failure, really. It seems like you're always messing up and starting over, messing up and starting over, never really making it to great heights. So that's why when I look at your life, I know you're not going to accomplish anything too great. Hmm, that's interesting. But the truth of the matter, all that stuff I said, this is the negative self talk that we all struggle with to a certain degree. I mean, it's that inner voice that's always telling you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not capable of achieving your goals. We all have it, we all know what it's like. But here is the truth, and this is real talk. So you have about 6,000 thoughts a day. Yep. 80% of those thoughts are negative, 20% of those thoughts are positive, but 95% of those thoughts are repetitive. So you're not thinking of any new thoughts. 95% of it is repetitive and 80% of that is negative. So basically we're really like kind of operating on a constant cycle of negativity. And I think, the reason why, or no, I don't think, but the reason why this is because our brains are wired for survival. So it's okay because your brain is wired for survival. And the funny part is we always talking about, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's it's wired for survival and not happiness. So of course, thousands of years ago, when humans were living in dangerous environments, our ancestors had to constantly be on alert for threats and predators and weather conditions and poisonous plants and rival tribes and things like that. So this is where that fight or flight response comes from. So the brain it's evolved to detect, danger quickly, and it's going to react immediately. So those negative thoughts that you have are helpful for our survival. That's true. But here's the thing. In today's world, we're no longer running from tigers or in danger, living in caves or living out in the open or whatever continent you're from. You're no longer doing that. So instead, our brain treats modern day challenges like it's really stressful, like public speaking or self doubt, all of those things. It's almost as if they were life threatening dangers when they're not. The fight or flight didn't leave. We just adapted to the time. So we still have that fight or flight response, but now we use it for common everyday things. Like I said, that negative talk still exists, but in all in truth, that negative talk is protecting you from things like in everyday things like rejection, embarrassment, or failure. So it doesn't want you to don't go any higher because it doesn't your body doesn't want it to be your body or mind doesn't want to be rejected. You don't want to be embarrassed and you don't want to fail. So your body's protecting you from that through those negative thoughts because it's keeping you at a certain level. But our negative thoughts, when you think about it, when you had a negative thought, it's always some type of exaggeration or some type of worst case scenario when we have these negative thoughts. And definitely it takes work to reframe that. Those thoughts, in a way, they serve you, right? They serve you. And so what I want to do is give you some things to think about, or some things to consider, or some things to try. So I want to leave you with this. When you catch yourself in those unnecessary, and they are unnecessary, negative talks, I want you to stop. Stop just to become aware. Take a pause just so that you can become aware. And the next thing you want to do is disrupt that thought. So you got to do something totally different, because remember, 80% of our thought pattern for the day is negative, and 95% of that is repetitive. So we're always thinking negatively. So when you stop, when you become aware of that negative thought, I want you to take a pause. I want you to disrupt the thought. And how you disrupt the thought, if you have to pinch yourself, if you have to take a rubber band and pop yourself, if you have to pray, whatever it is that's going to disrupt that thought at the moment. So it's got to be something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be something like that. But anyway, I do not care what you do. Just do something that really allows you to change that thought. So once you notice it. So after you've done that, now that you've noticed it and you've disrupted it, so that's a way of taking out the bad stuff. So now you got to put the good stuff in. I want you to remember all the times you've won in your life. And it doesn't have to be anything major. I want you to say, I woke up this morning. You winning. You winning if you woke up this morning. It's real talk. Be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm on this health kick. I drank a gallon of water yesterday. You winning. I want you to find those small little wins. I brushed my teeth. I went to the gym. I saved some money. I said no to somebody. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to make sure you capture those wins. All right. And then to seal the deal, I need you to start affirming things that counters that negative thought. So for me, for example, for me, my negative thought, whenever it hits me that I won't make it in business because I'm not plugged into the right network. So that's one of my negative thoughts that I share with you guys, because I'm not plugged into the right network. So when I'm working, and that's usually when it comes, it creeps in. I look away, because I might be on my computer. I just look away and say stop. That works for me. That disrupts it, because I literally pull myself back from work, and I'm literally just letting myself know that I'm aware of this negative thought. And then after that, I think of my wins. What did I do for that day? Did I send out a proposal? Did I, send out an email? Did I talk to my ambassadors? I just think of small wins. I think of small wins. And then after that, I create my affirmation. And basically, my affirmation is I create my own network by showing up and adding value in every space I enter. That's it. That's it. I create my own network by showing up and adding value into every space that I enter. And that's what I say. See, when you distance yourself from, the negative voice, you can take back control of your thoughts. And that's really what it's all about, because our thoughts are on repeat. We ain't really thinking nothing new. We're really not. 95% of it. But don't get me wrong, we all have moments of doubt, but you're stronger than that inner critic that sees it as a fight or flight experience. It's not a fight or flight experience. It's not. Because when you have those negative thoughts, your blood pressure may raise, your heart might start. You gotta disrupt yourself from that and get back into what you need to do. So the next time that all those negative thoughts creep up, or you're having a negative thoughts, pause, disrupt it. Remember everything you won already, and then go ahead and affirm something that's opposite to what that negative thought, other negative thought that you were thinking. And really, that's all I wanted to tell you in this Shiro Coffee Chat short. Thanks for joining me. I'm sipping on some Shiro tea this evening because it's late. It's so funny because this is day 3 of the 60-day challenge, and Andre was like, it's almost the next day. But hey, I got it done. That's a win. That's a win. So I can use that if I ever if I ever have another negative thought. That's a win for me. Hey, I did it at 11:46, but I did it. I did it. Just always remember, as always, keep your heart full and your coffee strong. Well, in this case, this is tea. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you next time tomorrow.